With busy schedules, it can be tricky to hit our macro goals with food that's both healthy and easy and quick to whip up. That's where protein powder comes in. And because I'm a big advocate for clean eating and clean protein powders, I get asked a ton of protein-related questions like, will it make me bulky? What's the best one to grab? What if I'm vegan? Why does it give me stomach issues? Do I have it instead of my meals? And so on. And unfortunately, there's a decent amount of misinformation out there. You know, some brands are saying that they're high in protein, but they're really not focusing on clean ingredients and to the quality of the ingredients. Some companies just really care about getting a big bulk, and some proteins aren't even good for long-term use. And I asked a lot of these questions when I was first getting started as well, and a lot of this was my motivation for why I wanted to create Cleanish protein powders. So in this video today, we're gonna talk about what makes a good protein powder, because yes, protein powders can definitely be a great supplement to add into your healthy lifestyle. So let's get started. So what is protein powder anyway? Protein powder is a condensed powder formed from protein that's either from animal or plant sources. Protein powders are often used to make smoothies or shakes, and I also love to have them in protein pancakes and protein muffins. And protein powders are not just for super heavy weightlifters and bodybuilders. They can also be for people just wanting to maintain healthy protein levels, people who want to lose weight. Personally, I have 1 to 2 protein shakes every day. Now that I have my Cleanish protein powder, I love to just mix it with water because it's super easy and it tastes really good. But before I had Cleanish protein, I didn't really like the flavors of a lot of protein powder, so I would mix it in with a shake and have it as a full meal. So the big question about protein powder is it healthy? So in general, we need protein to build muscle, repair tissue, and make important enzymes and hormones that keep our body functioning appropriately. So we have that part of protein, but we also have the part where it's pretty important to avoid extra processed foods. And as part of a clean lifestyle, we're looking to reduce artificial colors, artificial flavors, and added sugars. Because many of those protein powders out there, for example, contain a lot of added sugars in hidden words like maltodextrin. So then on top of that, a lot of protein powders will also have added artificial sweeteners like sucralose and aspartame and saccharin. Typically, I would recommend avoiding those. As far as calorie-free sweeteners, I tend to prefer stevia and monk fruit. Those are made from real sources and they don't have nearly as much negative consequences. Another claim that you're gonna see in a lot of protein powders is the added ingredients for enhanced performance, like supplements that are gonna say, hey, this is gonna give you better recovery, better pump, better anything. That's something I would recommend avoiding as well, because really all that is the marketer is trying to make it look better and have it be more of a marketable product because they're adding in all these extra supplements. It really should do the job that it's supposed to do and do it well. And also keep in mind, the more stuff that gets added, the more opportunity for contaminants. So we wanna keep those ingredient lists as minimal as possible. Really, when we're talking about protein powders and protein in general, getting an adequate amount of protein to reach your daily macro needs is all we need. All right, so what are the different types of protein powders? So let's dive into the 4 main types of proteins so that when you go and look at them in the grocery store or you're shopping online, you understand what you're looking at. First one is whey protein. This is the most commonly purchased and commonly understood form of protein powder. So in order to make whey protein, you get milk and then you curdle it, and that leftover liquid is the whey. The good thing about whey protein is it's rapidly absorbed by your body, and it's a complete protein, meaning that you get all essential amino acids from that one source. It's also high in leucine, which is one of those branched chain amino acids that is especially important because it is an essential amino acid, and that means our body doesn't produce it. We need to actually ingest it in order to have it. And among other things, it's also very important for muscle recovery and growth. So whey protein comes in a couple different forms. There's whey protein isolate and whey protein concentrate. The concentrate is a good option and it's less processed than the isolate, and that's gonna contain about 80% protein. But in that remaining 20%, you're also getting lactose along with other carbs and fats. So that means many people who suffer from lactose intolerance will likely have an issue with whey protein concentrate. Whey protein isolate, on the other hand, is 90% protein. So you do get a more isolated protein, but you're also getting a more processed protein. This type of protein is easier to digest. And in fact, some companies even add in a lactase enzyme that helps break down that lactose in the protein to help it easier to digest as well, because this is a known issue for people. Next, let's talk about casein protein. And it's actually the protein in the part of the milk that forms the curd. You may have heard casein referred to as a time-release protein, and that's because it's a relatively slow-releasing protein, which is not a bad thing. It makes you feel fuller longer. Now, it does contain less lactose than whey protein concentrate, but interestingly enough, some people actually are allergic to casein itself. If you have a cow milk allergy, those two options are likely going to cause issues, and instead, I would recommend one of the next two options. So let's talk about egg protein. Egg protein is generally made from egg whites, which we know are super high in lean protein, and they're highly digestible, and I have them almost daily, so definitely have a lot of egg protein in my diet already. So egg protein is a great option for a protein powder, unless you're vegan or you're choosing to just have non-animal based foods. So that brings us to our fourth option, which is plant protein. And plant sources can be from peas, soybeans, rice, hemp, potatoes, and even pumpkin seeds. Now, typically plant proteins are good with their nutrient content, but they do lack in their texture. Plant proteins tend to be a little bit more gritty and earthy, and typically don't dissolve as well as a whey protein, for example, unless you have Cleanish protein and someone went to a lot of work to make that work and make sure that it tasted good, had a good texture and flavor, and just overall tasted amazing. So typically you're gonna want about 80% of your protein to at least be protein if you're using an animal-based protein powder. That typically isn't as high of a percentage in plant-based proteins, but the added benefit of plant-based proteins is you get also more nutrients, and especially you get more fiber, and that is great as well because fiber is essential for healthy eating, weight loss, normal bowel movements, just feeling full, and overall having a healthy diet. So both are perfectly good options as part of a healthy, cleanish lifestyle. So I hope now you have a basic understanding of all the different types of protein powders out there, what to look for, and what might be the best fit for you. And if you have any more questions on this topic, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I can definitely be sure to answer them for you because I am clearly a big fan of protein powders and I love talking about them. So thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.